Hello everyone, for today's video, we will be learning about the IGOROT tribe. Do you know what is IGOROT tribe, guys? Well, it is about time for us to find out. Come on, guys! The IGOROTs are an ethnic people of the Philippines clustered in the Cordillera region of Luzon. IGOROTs reside in the mountainous north and central Luzon areas in the Cordillera region. So what does IGOROT do? Well, they are adept at rice terraces farming.
Extensive chain of massive and majestic mountains, rice terraces, hills, U-shaped valleys, rivers, lakes, natural, man-made, and even haunted caves. That's right, this is Cordillera. Rice is the staple crop for the IGOROTs, and they have built some of the biggest and most advanced rice terraces in the world. The term IGOROT is an old Tagalog word meaning people from the mountains. To this day, many of the tribes still practice Thanksgiving rituals. The forest provides an abundant source of wild meat for many families. Children start to fish and hunt at an early age. Rare necklaces made of wild boar tusks and crocodile teeth may be centuries old and has been passed down from generation to generation.
Now let us move on to the languages of IGOROT tribe. As I have mentioned earlier, IGOROT people reside in the Cordillera region. Technically, Cordillera Administrative Region has the most diversified dialects among the regions of the Philippines. Note that each dialect even has a respective variations per town or even per barangay. The diversity on Cordillera languages can be attributed to the division caused by mountainous ranges across the region. Because of the diversity of the languages, the IGOROT people who lived in Cordillera region informally set a meeting point language, which is the Ilocano. According to the Philippine Statistic Authority, 49.83% of the households in the region speak Ilocano. So let's explore and learn the different languages of IGOROT in the Cordillera region. The different languages of IGOROT are as follows. Abra, ethnic, is their dialect. Apayao, Isnag is their dialect. Benguet, Kankanae is their dialect. Ifugao is their dialect. Kalinga, Balangao is their dialect. Mountain Province, Buntok is their dialect. Here are some common phrases translated in IGOROT languages. In English, we say, good day, but IGOROT people would say, Maptingha agsapa in Ibaloy, maphud an bigat in Ifugao, napiya nga algaw in Isnag, nabalu ay wakas in Etnig, ang gawis ay agsapa in Kankanae. We are done discussing the languages of Igorot. Now let us move on to their food and delicacies. A lesser-known aspect of Igorot culture is its cuisine. In all honesty, they don't have much to offer when it comes to this department, given the fact that the sources of food for Igorots were limited. What they ate were basically composed of what they hunted from the woods, what they planted on their farms, and what they fished from the rivers. Igorot ancestors didn't have much time to experiment with. Still, they were able to have rare recipes, many of which are still being done today. Let's take a look into some of this exotic food below. Whether you are a tourist, a non-local, or a Cordilleran who is still unaccustomed to the regions of culinary specialties, these delicacies will make for an exciting and challenging adventure. So saddle up and get your taste buds ready. Pinikpikan when it comes to Cordilleran cuisine, this is without a doubt the recipe that is most well known. Note that if you are an advocate of an animal rights, you may find the preparation shocking. The butchering process is basically beating a chicken to death with a stick. Why? This is to preserve the blood in the chicken's body, to allow the blood to coagulate within the parts of the chicken that are beaten with a stick, mostly the neck and the wings.
The word pinikpikan came from the word pikpik, which means to beat repeatedly, mainly with a stick. And some people might think it's quite unacceptable, but this has been deeply been ingrained in our youth, in our traditions, and in our culture.
Cooking pinikpikan is a breeze. All you need is a chicken, sayote, etag or the pork that has been dried or smoked in an Igorot way, and many leafy vegetables like pichay or wombok. Use barn chickens or what they call native chicken for better taste. What does pinikpikan taste like? It is like a tinola with a smoky taste courtesy of the itag added into it. If you will go to Baguio City, you can have a taste of it at Cafe Agam or at the cafe by the ruins. Let's move on to Igorot culture and tradition. Igorot life revolves and dictated by their animistic beliefs. They call their supreme god who made heavens and earth Kabunyan. Besides this god are the different spirits whom they also worship. One is the spirit of the trees and the mountain, the spirit of the stone along rivers, spirit pusong or the deep portion of the river, spirit of the dead ancestors, spirit of the cloud, and the wandering spirit, and so on and so forth. Through these spirits that they perform rituals and drawn into their superstitions out of the strong belief that this spirit can do magical things that propel the Igorots to hunt for a human head. This is because, to them, the vigor, strength, and prowess of man is in the head. In bringing home a human head is also captivating those attributes that could give them protector and guardian spirit from raiders and attackers. But in order to activate the magic spell, They must have to perform ritual in their dapay or the village center. Usually, headhunting is done prior to planting season because it is related to good harvest. In this ritual, the head is hung in the dapay or ato in other Igorot language. Cultural elements common to the Igorot people as a whole include metal working in iron and brass, waving, and animal sacrifice. They believe in spirits, including those of ancestors, and have complex rituals to appropriate them. There are no clans or tribes, and political organization is generally limited.
There are three categories of music in Cordillera. We have vocal music, instrumental music, and vocal ensemble with instrumental accompaniment. Important activities where Cordillera music is utilized such as peace pacts, healing rituals, invocation of the gods, rites of passage, weddings and festivals, and other life cycle events such as birth, coming of age, work, marriage, and death. They are different groups of indigenous people of Cordillera. They are the Esneg, Tingu Inyan, Kalinga, Buntok, Kankanai, Ibaloy, Ifugao, and Bago. These indigenous people of Cordillera are collectively known as Igorots. They are known for their unique vocal and instrumental music. It's because of their distinct characteristics. First, we have music is part of their life and living. Second, participatory and communal. Third, it is preserved and transmitted from generation to generation through oral traditions. Their vocal music is pentatonic, is sung in unison, is melismatic, is chanted, and lastly has free meter. Vocal music of Cordillera are as follows. Life cycle music or birth to childhood. First, Owiwi, a lullaby of Kalinga that relate a child's life. Dagdagay, song of Kalinga that foretells the baby's future. Opya, Kalinga song sung while cradling courtship and marriage. Chagay, an expression of secret love of Buntok. Onggayan, greeting and advice to newlyweds of Kalinga. Next we have death rite music. Didiyaw, song to a dead child of Buntok. Sangsangit, a dirge of Isnig. Lastly, the entertainment song, Hudhud, an epic song of Ifugao that is kind of mythical tale song or chanted to relieve the tedium of group labor in the fields or during funeral weeks among the Ifugao, a terrace building or a rice farming. Here's a clip. Dangdang Ay.
Dang ay sitong ilay, insinalito maay. Dangdang ay sitong ilay, insinalito.
Next, we have the second category of cordillera music. The first distinct sound characteristics of Cordillera instrumental music is the metal instrument idiophones, musical instruments in which a resonant material such as wood, stone, or metals vibrates to produce the initial sound. One of the common instrumental music is the gangsa ensemble. It is a single hand-held smooth surface gong with a narrow rim. It is tuned to different notes depending on regional or cultural preferences. Gangsa ensemble, which usually consists of 5 to 6 flat gongs that is played in standing position. However, this may vary depending on the availability of the instruments and on the traditions particular to specific ethnic groups. Gangsa is played in two ways, namely, first, gangsa tupaya. Gongs are played by striking with a palm while rested on the lap. They are usually played during the wedding celebration, peace pacts, and festive gatherings. Are struck on a beaten wooden mallets while held by the left hand. Musicians are usually men, are in standing position or doing step dance movement in a slight bending forward position together with the women dancers. Here's an example of wooden instrument. Sulibao is a hollow conical wooden tenor drum of the Igorot, Buntok, and Ibaloy. It is covered with deer skin, pig skin, or lizard skin and played by striking the drum head with the palms of both hands. It is usually appeared as part of an ensemble along with a kimbal, pins, salsa, and palas. We have the bamboo instrument. Example is the paldong. It is a Rift Valley bamboo flute of the Kalinga tribes. It is open on both ends with a 4-finger holes, 3 in the front, 1 at the back. Next we have string instruments or chordophone, a musical instrument that makes sound by way of vibrating string stretched between 2 points. The string can be plucked or struck or bowed. Example is the kulitong. It is a Kalinga bamboo polycordal tube either with 6 strings that can run parallel to its body. The 2 ends of the body are closed by the bamboo noose with a hole and a crack along the body parallel to the strings. Kulitong is played mainly by plucking using the player's finger. A continuous melody is formed with the use of alternate fingers of both hands. Men play the kulitong at night as a solo instrument. Next, we have percussion instruments or idophones. Example is the bongkaka or bilbil is a Kalinga bamboo buzzer used by women. It is played by holding the end of the tube with one hand while striking it on the open palm or wrist of the other hand. The buzzing sound can be altered by covering and uncovering the small hole bored in the bottom half of the instrument with the thumb. This instrument is believed to be drive away from the evil spirit. The last music category is the vocal ensemble with instrumental accompaniment. Vocal ensemble is performed during courtship, usually in song debate, accompanied by different instruments such as kudlong and saluroy. Here's a short clip of kudlong. Lastly is the love incantation. Recitation, chanting, or uttering of words or sounds purporting to have magical powers. It could also be written or recited formula of words designed to produce a particular effect. The following are the examples of greetings and advice during Kalinga wedding. We have Tamuyong, Dango ang Ungayam. It's a short clip of Ungayam.
Aan ugayam galayaman Hanakan nandat dato.
For entertainment song, we have Salidumay at Dangdayang Ay. Here's a short clip of Salidumay.
Literature in Cordillera. Some of the famous literary works of this region are Hudhud. It is an epic, Ulyalim, a ballad, Dangdangay, a song, The Giantess and the Three Children, a short story, Wedding Dance, a short story also, Aga-a, Ya Agi-a, a song, Kanaw, a ritual, and Tinggi and Flood Myth, a myth.
The Igorot religion is one of the most interesting, complex, and comprehensive tribal religions in the Philippines. It places together animism, ancestor worship, and Christian beliefs, making it stand out as one of the most unique faiths on earth. The religion of Igorot is a way to honor and respect the spirits. The spirit of a person lives within him. It is his soul. Each soul has its own guardian angel in heaven. Because their ancestors are dead, they have no choice but to take care of the children and make sure that they live good lives according to their customs and traditions. Otherwise, they will not be taken to heaven when they die by an evil spirit or by wild animals. Also, the religion is a conglomeration of beliefs, practices, rituals, and sacrifices. It is a magical religion. The soul of the dead is invisible to the living, but roams around Makinhay, where it can be helped by its living relatives. After death, a person's soul will not die like that of other mortals. Rather, it endures for an indefinite period, sometimes forever. Clothing of Igorot. Igorot costume is very simple. The men wearing long strips of hand-woven loincloth called wings. The women wear a kind of wrap-around skirt called lufid. This attire is used by the tribe of mountain province of the Cordillera Ranges called Igorots. Wains are a part of Igorot culture. They are a means of expression as well as an important part of the Igorot community. Wains are made by wrapping colored threads around the wrist and knuckles, then tying them together to create a pattern. The patterns can be different depending on the person's age, gender, and social status. There are hundreds of wains that have been passed down from generation to generation. These designs can be used for different purposes, to express what you're feeling or to symbolize a certain aspect of your personality or identity. The lufid is the native garment for Bontoc women. It is woven using the backstrap loom or the pinagod. There are 6 types of lufid in Bontoc: kulibangbang, kinain, kinawaan, kinuwafaw, kinayaan, and the lufid for the dead. It is a native garment with a rectangular shape, kept in place by a thick woven bark fiber belt called wakis or bakgit. The lufid is made up of horizontal stripes with various forms and colors. Many of them contains white stripes in the middle that stand out from the other strips. Celebrations in the Igorot. The Kanyao Babayas was the cultural presentation of the Igorot Austria during the Igorot night. Ogayam, it is a song or chant performed by a leader during a public program. It is usually a way of saying a welcome remarks. Among the mountaineers, the Highlanders or the Igorots, solidarity in different provinces is observed in an occasion like a wedding celebration. Every province is represented and they come to attend in their native costume. Degdegwe. It is a song or dance that rhymes wherein every verse starts with the word degdegwe. The hands are knit together at the back to form one column side by side. They chant in chorus as they move forward, backward, and sideward. The preparation and thanksgiving of harvesting time. It includes all representatives of the different Cordillera provinces. Babayas is usually performed after harvest time. Everybody cooperates for the preparation of the wedding. The community help in pounding rice, gathering fruits and vegetables, and others are being gathered too. Dokong. If the male is in love with the lady, he tries his best to gather the best quality of fuel wood and bring it to the house of the lady with the presence of her parents. In return, the female will bring rice to the house of the man to demonstrate that she loves the man too. The spiritual life of the Cordillera people is very much affected by music, chants, and dances. The spiritual power of music and dance is part of people's everyday life. The dances are of different kinds depending on the purpose. The instruments used in dancing are originally handmade by the villagers called gongs, which last for years and can be inherited. Tupaya, dance by a newlywed couple. It is also a courtship dance. Eagle dance. The dance originated in eastern Bontoc. 3 males play the instrument while a pair of dancers follow the music. It is usually performed during Thanksgiving and wedding ceremonies. Traditional wedding celebration. Weddings are the most important public worship of all. The families sit before the man and woman while they listen the promises of fidelity and heritage that pass between the newlywed couple. The families sanctify the occasion with elaborate rituals and prayers. The leaders of the community with high morality will perform the rituals in the form of chanting to proclaim and declare the marriage, which starts the night before celebration until the day of the wedding. Attendance is both a right and duty of both sides of the bride and groom.
Otherwise, the rituals are imperfect if the required participant is absent. Trial marriage and divorce is not acceptable in the customary law of the Igorots. If such is encountered, he or she is an outcast in the community.
Giving of gifts like rice wine, beads, jewelries, money, and etc. Places to visit to experience the Philippine culture and values.
The Cordilleras is where Igorots located, described by some as the eighth wonder of the world. The spiny Cordillera Central mountains lure to those who like to get active in the fresh air with wonderful hiking, biking, and caving locations. All you need to know about the Cordilleras. The country's only landlocked region is also one of its most lightly populated areas across its 6 provinces of Abra, Apayao, Benguet, Ifugao, Kalinga, and Mountain Province. Top 10 places to visit in Cordillera where most Igorots are located. The first one, rice terraces. Walk through the rice terraces in the province of Ifugao, Mountain Province, Kalinga, and other provinces. Banawi's signature landscape, a rice stairway to heaven. The next one, Mount Timbak to see fire mummies. Hike up Mount Timbak to see the unique fire mummies in their natural caves. Next, trek the mountains. Trek up Mount Pulag, Mount Pugu, and Mount Pulab in Benguet for views down over a sea of clouds. Timbag is a great experience, but seeing the fire mummies adds to the greatness of the hike. Next, Lumyang Boreal Cave. See centuries-old coffins in Lumyang Boreal Cave, then spelunk in nearby Somaging Cave. The Lumyang Boreal Cave is probably the most visited boreal site in Sagada, primarily because it is usually bundled with the Somaging Cave tour. Next, Eco Valley. Discover the hanging coffins suspended high on the cliffs in Eco Valley in Sagada. Close to the Sagada's main road is the Eco Valley, a well-known attraction with a scenery that includes sharp cliffs with dangling coffins attached to one edge. The cemetery's trail were a testament to how popular this place is for tourists, with a red trail against a sea of green. The ground is covered with pine needles. The site was a wonder in itself, with a deep valley and limestone cliffs rising from the ground. The main highlight of a tour in Eco Valley is you can shout and it will echo, hence the attraction's titular name. You can throw rocks at the hill and it will bounce back. However, locals recommend to keep the place quiet as a sign of respect to the dead and enjoy the scenery instead. Next one, Bumudok Falls. The most visited waterfall in Sagada is Bumudok. The falls drop several meters down into a pool where visitors can swim after a tiring 4.2-kilometer trek through our rice fields. Swim in the natural pools of Bumukod Falls. 7. Bencab Museum. The Bencab Museum houses the permanent collection of Philippine national artist Benedicto Cabrera in several galleries as well as venues of art shows and exhibitions. The Philippine Contemporary Art Galleries highlight the artist's collections of paintings, drawings, prints, and sculpture. Tour the Bencab Museum, Baguio City, with its works by Ben Cabrera and other Filipino artists. Next, Buntok Museum. Buntok Museum was founded by a Belgian nun to preserve the history and heritage of the indigenous peoples of the Cordillera region, collectively known as the Ifugao. The museum's collection includes traditional costumes, hunting and farming tools, and turn-of-the-century photographs of the Ifugao, head hunter warriors and their prizes, and American missionaries trying to convert the natives. Also on display are centuries-old Chinese ceramics, and archaeological objects found in Cordillera caves. The museum building is patterned after a traditional Ifugao house with furniture and household implements. At the back of the museum is a replica of an Ifugao village, including stone shelters known as ilis. The next one, art and culture. Take in the ethnography displays in the St. Louis University Museum of Arts and Cultures and Museo Cordillera at the University of the Philippines, Baguio. The last one, local galleries. Tamawan Village is a reconstructed Cordillera village showcasing the traditional Ifugao huts and Baguio's art and culture scene. Tour Tamawan Village, an artist gallery in Baguio City which uniquely blends indigenous aesthetics and exquisite Cordilleran craftsmanship in an artist concept for a village adapted to its setting.